Well, hello there. How you guys doing today? Hopefully, you guys are doing good on this hump day. It is very, very rainy here in the lovely state of hockey, and yeah, we're currently in a flood watch. Perfect day to get a couple more things. Now again, the kid beat me to the punch in taking these out of the bag. So, I can't really do an unbagging in the sense, but I can kind of take them out of the bags, and it's interesting. They all came and they all came at once. I wasn't exactly expecting them to all show up at once, but it is some more Stanley Cup stuff. It kind of goes with the hat. So I got this because in a way I can do kind of an unbagging. It's just taking them out of the little bags. So we got this here, which oddly enough I ordered this after the other ones, and the cool thing is they all still came at the same time on the same day. We have here the locker room, shirt for the 2025 Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, and I mean, this was the locker room shirt from last year. I thought this one was really good. This one is really cool. The Stanley Cup right out front and center. Looks fantastic. Of course, it says 2025 there, Florida Panthers on the bottom. And I love how it goes all the way up and around. Stanley Cup champs. Not bad. Not bad at all. I do like how that is. Of course, there's nothing on the back, but yeah, that's pretty killer. That is a very cool design, very cool shirt. The Stanley Cup, of course, being up front and center, which is awesome. Which the NHL needs. NHL should maybe learn this and put the Stanley Cup patches back where they belong. Move those stupid ads off there instead of the ads being front and center and the Stanley Cup basically being secondary next to the captain's patch there on the other side. Yeah, no, put the Stanley Cup patch where it goes on the right-hand side of the jersey, not the left. But yeah, that's cool. That's a very cool looking shirt. I ordered that one last. I ordered these other two first, which again is what makes it kind of cool that they all shipped at the same time. Now, because what I was trying to find shirts that would symbolize the back-to-back part. Now, I did like the shirt that ended up being the parade shirt, but the NHL shop did not have them past a 2XL, and they were all gone already. So I wasn't able to get that one. I did like that one. It actually had both Stanley Cups on it, and it ended up being the parade shirt. That was one I was really focused on getting, but I wasn't able to get it because again, they didn't have it past 2XL, which is really odd because normally they have it at least 3X, 4X. I mean, they have a lot of these shirts all the way up to 5XL, which again is kind of surprising that they didn't have the parade shirt in anything bigger than a 2XL. And of course, when I looked on the site, on the NHL site, they were all gone already. Oh, excuse me. So I ended up this is one of the other ones I ended up getting. This is an actual back-to-back one, and it says "Rain On." Rain On with the Stanley Cup on the front. And what I find kind of cool is you have 2024 and 2025, so it symbolizes both. And then you got the Rats. You got the Rats here. Panthers win. Panthers win. That's pretty friggin' neat. And then, of course, Stanley Cup champions. That looks really cool. That is very, very cool. That is a really nice looking shirt. And of course, again, there's nothing on the back, but I gotta admit, I think that's a pretty cool shirt. That is a very cool shirt. And by the way, all of these, let me make sure here, they should all be the same size here. Yep, 3XL. And yep, 3XL, both 3XLs. I remember not too long in the distant past, I was wearing 4XL because the 3XLs didn't fit because I was kind of an extra fluffy guy, and where now I'm just kind of a more fluffy guy instead of extra fluffy. But yeah, it's cool that I can get back down into the threes, and yeah, that's an awesome looking shirt. But that's not the last one. The last one is this one. This one is really cool too. I ended up basically, and there was one particular reason why I got this one. Not just because it does symbolize the back-to-back also, but, and again, it has the Stanley Cup front and center. And this has rats on it too. Look at this one. The Make It Rain. That is really cool too. Make It Rain, Stanley Cup on there. 24, 25. This has the rats on it too. Also says Panthers win. But the interesting thing is I got this one because the logo. Where the other ones have Florida across there, this one, give a good close up here. You can see it says Panthers. It actually says Panthers. It doesn't just say Florida. It says Panthers on it. I really like that. So yeah, I decided to get that one also. And of course, this one is blank too. And again, the rats. It's got the rats on it. And that is such a neat thing. I mean, it literally looks like it's got rats crawling all over the place, which is pretty cool. And again, for anybody new that doesn't quite understand about, the Panthers and why they throw the rats out there, they've been doing that since 1990. I believe it was 95 or 96. It was very early. It was big during their first Stanley Cup run when they were all throwing when they'd all throw the rubber rats out there. It was because Scott Mellenby of the original Florida Panther team, Scott Mellenby, found a rat running through the locker room, and he basically slap-shotted the rat across the room into the wall and killed it. And that is why, from that point on, they have done the rubber rats. All because Scott Mellenby killed a rat in the locker room by basically slap-shotting it against the wall. So yeah, it's one of those quote urban legends, or as some would say, an urban myth. That's not a myth. That happened. That literally happened. He saw a rat running across the thing and decided whack. And yeah, and ever since then they've been doing the rubber rat thing, and yeah, the rats have been a big portion or a big part of the Florida Panthers ever since. The fans with the rubber rats, and yeah, the fact that they've won back-to-back Stanley Cups now, the rats getting thrown on the ice. I mean, they used to do it after every goal, and the league went and basically said, okay, you can't do that anymore. Otherwise, we're going to start giving you delay of game penalties. So now what they do is they basically do it after every win. Instead of every goal, they do every win. And yeah, so that's kind of what they do now. And yeah, so they do it after every home win. And yeah, so I mean, and it's not quite as many because they used to throw. You literally would think the ice would have been black. That's how many rubber rats were being thrown on the ice back in 1996. That was one thing too when I was watching the playoffs that year, my senior year in high school, my graduation year. It's one thing that got me into watching the Panthers that year was seeing the rats come out, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's so neat. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. And that Cinderella run that they went on, yeah, they ended up getting destroyed by the Colorado Avalanche, but that run was incredible. And who'd have thunk it basically would have been almost 30 years. It would have taken almost 30 years later, but here they are, a successful franchise, a team that has been to 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals and has now won back-to-back. And watching people get so uptight about it. That's another video that I think I might do. I might do that after this video, as I might talk a little more about the reaction that some people are having over the fact that a team that was bad for over 25 years is now good, and now everybody has a problem with it. I'll talk a little more about that in a upcoming video. Might be the video I do after this. But yeah, so these are the shirts. The Make It Rain 24-25 Stanley Cup Champions. The Rain On Stanley Cup Champions. Looks fantastic, 2024, 2025. And then, of course, the locker room shirt, Stanley Cup Champs, 2025, Florida Panthers. They look amazing. And now I just got to figure out in the next video I do, which one to wear. Which one should I wear? I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, very, very cool that I got these 3 on the same day. And now I got something to match the hat. Which, by the way, I did say this in the video where I show the hat off. I give props to Fanatics. They actually put some effort into this hat. Instead of just this basic kind of bland, like, bleh, where they don't have the Stanley Cup in there. This one, they actually have it embroidered. The Stanley Cup, you can see the little silhouette there in the background. I do think that could be a little better. Actually embroider that. If you do the Stanley Cup, instead of that silhouette there, if you actually embroider the Stanley Cup like you did the embroidery here, do that on the Stanley Cup, it would have made this hat pop even that much more and would have looked fantastic. But yeah, I do got to say, it's better than the past number of years that they've done, and hopefully they continue that with their hats. So, again, let me know what you guys think. Which one of the 3 shirts do you guys like the best? Which one is your favorite? I like all 3. It's very hard for me to kind of pick which one is, because, again, I liked all 3, which is why I got all 3 of them. So, again, though, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Which shirt do you guys like the best? And yeah, hit that like button. Only takes a second. Helps out the channel. Lets the algorithm know that people are interested in the channel. Also, subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic. Let all your friends know about the channel. Because, I want to have every hockey fan from every fan base. I'd love to have everybody here from all over the world, wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you're from. Europe, Russia, Kazakhstan, wherever. If you're a hockey fan, I'd love to have you be a part of the channel. And yeah, also share this video with everyone that you know. And yeah, and also hit that little notification bell that will let you know anytime future videos are uploaded. And yeah, so 3 new shirts added to the Stanley Cup collection, and I do it kind of every year, so I might go back and show off past shirts again from like 2010 up, because that's kind of where I'm not sure where a lot of the older shirts are, but and just showing kind of what all the shirts had looked like over the years. And so I might do that again. But yeah, 3 new shirts added to the collection. Again, let me know in the comments which one you like best. And yeah, and obviously, yeah, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you back here again. And so yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share. I will see you guys later.